Hey guys, it's time for another manga review. Manga, I'm sorry, I don't know. This is one that I did not really want to do, but I feel like I need to educate the world. Trying to not sound biased, but it's called, the English name is Dawn of the Arcana. And as you know, this will have spoilers. So if you don't want to know what happens in the actual story, then fast forward to here. But first, I want to read what it's about, in case you aren't sure if you read it. And then after that, I'll give you a heads up, and then you can turn it off or skip forward to the end or whatever. Okay, plot. It's all. I always read myself on Wikipedia. Okay. Nakaba, princess of Sinan, is forced to marry Caesar, a prince of Belquat. I hate that name. In an attempt to ease the bad relations between the two kingdoms. Can you hear me over the dishwasher? I hope you can. Because of the marriage, Loki and Nakaba have to move to Sinan's rival kingdom, Belquat. Nakaba discovers she holds the bloodline for the Arcana of Time. I say it differently every time. A power that was feared, and as a result, everyone that was discovered to have the Arcana was slaughtered, but a few have survived. Every Arcana is different to each tribe, and the Kabbas allows her to see in the past or future, dubbed the Arcana of Time. Ajin are half human and half animal, a subspecies, and are usually looked down upon or mistreated and forced to be the labor force, and the rebellion grows stronger with every day. Nakaba soon finds herself in the middle of a love triangle with Loki and Caesar, a struggle between Belquat and Sinan, as well as the battle for equality between Ajin, and ordinary humans. Okay, once again, fast forward to here if you want to hear my final thoughts. If you're still here, then I assume you want to know what happens, because this doesn't really give you much information. So, Nakaba, her mom was a princess also of Sinan. So, like, her grandfather is the king, but her mom ran away from home to marry. Well, she didn't know this. Did she? She ran away from home. I think she knows he married an Ajin. No, I don't know. Sorry if I just, like, said the wrong thing. And everybody in her village is murdered, and her mom gives her to Loki as a baby and tells him to take her to the castle with this, like, amulet necklace thing, and they take her in, but they keep her locked in this tower because, like, she has red hair, so, like, and royal people have black hair, so she's an embarrassment. So when they decide to do the, like, try to ease the tension, they send her because they don't care about her. Now, Caesar, the guy she marries, is such a male organ. He is so rude. He, like, grabs her by the hair and pulls her everywhere. He, like, forces himself upon her, and, like, every time he kisses her, which is against her will, there's, like, always, like, this, like, spit. Ugh. And then they hate each other, right? But, like, Loki, I don't know if it said that, he's an Ajin, so he's half dog. But when they say, like, half human, half animal, like, the only thing they have animal-wise is, like, ears and a tail. That's, other than that, they're human. So Loki, who is her guardian, protector, he's been with her years. Like, she's an adult now. They're, like, best friends. And what was I gonna say about him? Anyway, he does not put up with Caesar treating her bad. Like, so fast forward to, like, they get married. She gets married to Caesar or whatever, and there's, like, this competition, like, jousting, and whoever wins the competition gets to kiss the princess. And of course, Caesar is like, oh, I have to win. Of course, he has this, like, long black hair. It's so... So, he wins, right? But then Loki decides to challenge him, and they don't say this either, but the Agents are actually like really strong. Like they're almost like not superhuman, but like they definitely are like, if there was a war, like they would definitely win. And he beats Caesar, no problem. So afterwards, he's talking to Nakaba, and Loki is so nice. Like, it says like a love triangle. Like you literally ship them so hard the entire time. It's, you know, even though they're half, you know, you still want them to be like together, even though he's a lot older. He's like 10 years older than her, I think. Anyway, he's like, oh, don't I get a kiss because I won? And she's like, oh yeah, you do. And she kisses him on the mouth, whatever. And you're like, aww. And Caesar sees it and he's like, so jealous. So fast forward, and this says it's a love triangle, but really there's not. Like at one point, so trying to like make the story as fast as possible because it's really not interesting. They go on, he says something about like losing, and like she said something like, well, if you just try harder, you'll get it. Like, and then like he's like, oh my god, I love her. I had to protect her forever. And he hugs her and he decides that he loves her after she said like one thing that was somewhat supportive. And then a little bit later, she feels the same way, and you're like, no, because Loki's like so nice, and Caesar, well, now he's nice, but you don't just change, you know? You don't just freaking change like that. So they go on a honeymoon. Oh wait, they find these like weapons that their kingdom is making because Belquat is a bunch of jerks, and they're planning another war, even though like there's like a peace treaty, and like these super like awesome swords. So they go on a honeymoon to try and like figure out what's going on. I'm trying to remember. I honestly try to push this out of my head because I hated this so much. I was hoping it's gonna redeem itself at the end. I'll get into it later. So anyway, on the trip, they go to this village. Oh no, she uses her power. Sorry. To see this village getting attacked, so they go on a honeymoon to warn the village. I know, I'm terrible at this, but I read it like a while ago. And the Belquatman army shows up, and Caesar's brother he's blonde, by the way, because all of them have black hair too, but that's not important. Loki ends up murdering him because he thinks that he's going to kill Nakaba. And Loki's job is to protect Nakaba. So they decide she can't go back to the castle, right? Because like, they would kill her. So her and Loki leave and go back to Sinan. And Caesar returns to the kingdom, and they're like, oh, you can just marry your brother's fiance. So anyway, she goes out to Sinan. She marries her cousin. I think he's her cousin. He's also like just like Caesar. He's such a jerk, and not in like romantic way. Like it's just like a gain thing. So a while later, her grandpa is dying, and they go in there, and she grabs her husband by the throat with a knife, and she's like, tells the king, like, if you don't sign the kingdom over to me when you die, I'll kill him. And he's like, fine, whatever, you can have it. So she becomes the queen of Sinan. And, of course, she knows about swords still. And even though it's been a couple years, I believe, at this point. They decide to go attack Belquat. But Caesar, they meet, and they decide to go overthrow Belquat. Because he's like, dang, my dad's a jerk. Like, he's a jerk. Let's overthrow it. So he kills his dad. So then he's the king of Belquat, and she's the queen of Sinan. And literally, it's 10 seconds. And Loki goes up to her and says, Kaba, you need to give me the kingdom of Sanan. And you're just like, and then like he's like, in the next chapter, he's like, you need to give me the kingdom and send all the Agents over to Sanan, and I'll send all the humans to Belquad, and we'll live separately. And she's like, and he's being a jerk about it. Like, so not Loki. And she goes, but we're supposed to, the whole point of this was to have everybody be equal. Like, have them not be slaves anymore. Like, everybody's supposed to be equal. And he goes, are you an idiot? That will never happen. And some other stuff is said, and he leaves, and he becomes the king of Sanan. And they do whatever, you know, they split everybody. And like a couple years later, this kid that was a part of the group comes in, and he's like, Loki's dead. I'm sorry. I just like how I said that. He's like, Loki's dead. Loki is... So, she goes into her power, where she uses it a lot. And Loki always told her, like, stop using your power, it'll kill you. Oh, and I didn't say this, but pretty soon before that, she finds out that he has the power too. Right? And that's what killed him. So she goes into the thing to see what happened to him. And he talks about like how much he misses her and like, you know, all this. And then like it goes to like a flashback of her mom, and her dad walks in, and she's like, oh, that's my dad. So maybe she didn't know, I forget. And he pulls his hood back, and he has red hair, right? But he has dog ears, right? Because he's an agent, so her dad is an agent. And then somebody goes, Mom, Dad, I'm home. And friggin' Loki walks in. He's like 10, and she's like a baby. So, they're brother and sister. And obviously, Loki knew that before he decided to go all incest on her. Ugh. Why? Why? I wouldn't even call it a love triangle. Like, she chooses Caesar every time. Why would he kiss her and want to be with her if he knew? Like, he wants to be with her. And yeah, you root for it, dude. I did. And then you find other siblings, and you're like, ugh. Anyway. That's pretty much what it's about. And I hated it. It went on for 10 years, 13 volumes. I don't see how. It wasn't really that long, it's just... Okay. Final thoughts. Look. I'm glad it was short, because it was dumb and stupid and so... Not even like the power aspect, obviously that's unrealistic. Just the whole story is unrealistic. Like, people don't do this stuff in this story. Like, they don't like, oh, I forgive you, blah blah blah. That's all I want to say. I'm not gonna spoil anything else. It's just, I feel like they started something and didn't know how to finish it. And for that reason, this is the worst one I've ever read out of the 5 I've read. Hands down, worst. Rating? 2 out of 10. And they're lucky they got 2, because it was... I will never read this again, ever. I will never recommend it to anybody, unless I hate that person. Anyway, I'm just gonna stop. I'm gonna get heated. But that's how much I hated it. So, if you like it, this series, let me know. The next one I'm gonna review is Snow White with the red hair. Which, spoiler alert, I love it. It's great. This, I hate it. I hated it. but I finished it because I had to finish it. So yeah, let me know if you liked it, and hope see you in the next one. Bye.